outrageous personality and incredible good looks made her an instant fan favorite as the host of MTV's Singled Out and The Jenny McCarthy Show. But she's more than just a pretty face. Jenny McCarthy recently released her 4th book titled Life Laughs and showed off her acting chops in the movie John Tucker Must Die. And get this, now she's helping the fellas watch their weight.
And Jenny McCarthy is joining us this morning to tell us all about it. Good morning, Jenny.
You guys, this is such a cute show.
You're welcome anytime.
Everybody's good looking that works here. I love it.
That was from Jenny McCarthy.
Yeah, honestly, we really spruced up for you today.
Yeah.
Everybody put thought into outfits and hairdos and everything.
I was gonna wear something tighter, but
yes.
Thank God you didn't.
In fact, he lives so close. I told him he could go home and change, but he decided to stick with the original outfit. So tell us about this whole new Weight Watchers thing you got going on.
You know, the Weight Watchers people asked me to come down to baseball spring training camps, which I'm going to today. Ladies, I'm so excited to see the baseball players and their cute butts and their outfits. That's a whole other story. You know, and Weight Watchers started something called Weight Watchers Online for Men. You know, for 40 years, men and women have been going online and calculating, you know, their weight and everything. Now we've created their own homepage. So men can go on to their own homepage on Weight Watchers and learn about, you know, 10 ways to cook chicken and beer and boobs. All on one site.
Wow. Beer, boobs, and chicken. That's going to sell, Jenny. That's going to sell.
Weight Watchers Online for Men.
Oh, yes.
You heard it from me.
Now, you're also, your book is about being a new mom. I'm actually a new dad.
Congratulations.
So congratulations to you. So tell us about that, your first year as a mother.
Well, it's been a few years.
Oh, okay.
This is my 3rd book, Life Laughs. It just came out on paperback, and it's one of the funniest ones out of the group of them. I seem to have found a funny way of putting a spin on motherhood and marriage and sex, and
there's a lot to laugh about.
There's a lot in this book. You know, this is actually the funniest one out of the 3 I've done. So I hope people, if you haven't read it, please go out and get it because you will die laughing. I swear.
Now that you're the Hollywood sex symbol, does that change your perception as far as being a mom? Are you worried once your kids grow up?
You know, I am barely holding on to that sex symbol image.
No,
oh, no, you know.
I beg to differ. Everyone in this room begs to differ.
You know what, though? Once you get to a certain point, you don't care as much, really, because my focus is on my boy. I love this kid so much.
Isn't it amazing?
Yes, that it is worth the stretch marks and the scars and the cellulite just to have. Well, that was okay. That shoot was a different story.
This doesn't really go well with what we're talking about.
Boys, no, it does not really go. That was a cold day on set, I must say. Really, can you show this in the morning?
We do.
Yes, we can. You're not familiar with the show.
Yeah.
We probably shouldn't, but we do.
It was making me blush.
Now, we understand you're dating Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I got to tell you something. I've actually been a stand-up comic for about 10 years, and I want to tell you that you have given hope to so many stand-up comics. That someone like you would date a stand-up comic. I mean, I love Jim, but that's just wonderful.
You know what, though? You know, people said it to me before, and let me tell you, you know, behind the scenes, he is hot.
Oh, he is, yeah.
He is totally hot.
He's so
Such
hot.
a good-looking guy.
He is smoking this.
You gotta try that again. Come on, Jenny, you can do a much better impression than that.
You know what, I could, but I'm already completely embarrassed myself right now. But he really is, and everything is really great, and very happy.
Well, you're one of the few people that, you know, they always say that the women love a guy with a sense of humor,
Yes.
and then you always think, like, no, they don't. But you're actually proof that a guy with a sense of humor can get somebody as hot as you.
Oh, I think it's one of the most important things, besides unloading the dishwasher and taking the garbage out.
Right.
All those things combined.
And that
really
kind of brings us back to your book, right?
Sure does.
Yes.
See that?
Okay, let's talk some Hollywood dish. You guys went to Tom and Katie's wedding.
Yeah.
Give us the scoop on that.
You know, I grew up a very poor girl on the south side of Chicago, and so to be sitting there in this castle with these people, I did not feel like I belonged at all. It was overwhelmingly beautiful. It was quite small. I thought there was going to be a lot of people there. There was only about 100. And they looked extremely happy and romantic, and it was wonderful. There was nothing weird about it, you know.
You heard it here. Jenny McCarthy, not at home in a castle. Not at home in a castle.
That's very funny.
How does one find a dress for an event like that?
Yeah.
I would be racking my mind.
It was horrific. Honestly, it was horrific. And, you know, I'm not really a red carpet diva. You don't really see me wearing, you know, and showing off my design or I'm not. So for this thing, it was really tricky, you know. I knew all the girls would be wearing, you know, dead animals and diamonds. To which I own neither. So I had to borrow a dead animal and diamonds for this event.
Jenny, thank you so much. For more information on Weight Watchers online for men, you can go to
Men,
Weight
get on
Watchers. That's right, WeightWatchers.com/men, or click on the link at dailybuzz.tv. Jenny McCarthy, everybody.
Jenny asked, she goes, "Who's the model?" And I go, "That's me." And then I said, "Do you like the goatee?" And you said,
Yeah.
and then I said, "I hate my wife." She made me shave it off.
Really?
Yeah, I had it for the
I
longest
think
time.
it's sexy. I do too.
I hate her even more now. All right. I'm just kidding. All right, reach in there and grab out a name, and we will give away this umbrella here.
Chosen by Jenny McCarthy.
Oh, look at there.
Can't read the name.
Margarita Maxwell from Lehigh Acres, Florida.
She's Atlantic City, it
Appropriate
looks
you
like
grab
right
Margarita.
there. I love the ones where it's come from Florida, but they like the postcard is like from somewhere like really far away from Florida. It's interesting. We've got a couple like that. And of course, we'll be drawing all week long. If you want to get your postcard in, you got to send it in today in order to make it by Friday.
Very good. So Jenny is off to spring training today. Very cool. She's like, I'm so ready to get out of here.
I'm so ready to get down there and play with the boys and see what they have to say and convince them to get their fat butts into Weight Watchers. So.
Well, I think you're going down for the tight white pants. I personally would be down for that in a heartbeat. Yes.
I know. I'll tell them you said hi.
Please do.
All right.
And when it comes to baseball teams, who you root for?
Well, you know, I'm from the south side of Chicago, so I'm forced to be a White Sox fan. Because God forbid I say I'm a Cubs fan, then I'm screwed.
Okay. Yeah. All right, Jenny, thank you so much. More news and weather after this. Right now it's about 3 minutes till the top of the hour. You are watching The Daily Buzz. Check out the link on dailybuzz.tv for more information on the Weight Watchers program for men.